Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus is my plea. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord. Let it be. Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus is my plea. Daily, daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord. Let it be. I am weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from now
Okay,
on.
ladies and gentlemen, we just are so excited today because we have as our
I'll be
guest Ms. Annette
satisfied
Brown
alone.
from Atlanta, Georgia, right?
Yes.
Okay. And she is a beautiful poet. She's also one of my cousins. I've learned to that in the South, almost everybody's my cousin.
Yes.
I met so many people I'm related to until it's almost really funny. But anyway, Annette is a very talented writer, playwright, and singer. And I hope that to have her come on many more times to share some of her gifts and talents. But tonight, she is going to be honoring her mother with a poem. And so, how are you doing, Annette?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm glad to be here.
Ah, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I'm going to kind of just sit here and be your audience, and
Okay.
I want to hear what you brought to share for
Okay.
Mother's Day.
All right. This is a poem that I wrote and about, I guess, about 3 years ago for my mom. And it's called Quiet Resolve. It says, Mama, the last time we were together, life kept getting in the way. The past kept butting in, I guess you can say. Who's right and who wasn't is an even draw. But none of that is important after what I saw. The hurt could be seen all over your face. It was impossible to disguise. I saw it peeking out from behind the lens of your brown eyes. And so I walked away in a huff, embarrassed but standing strong. Yet the voice inside my head kept saying, now you know you were wrong. What happened back then is history, and I may never have a clue about the full toll that this mystery actually had on you. And to think, I felt betrayed because you hadn't shared, not realizing you did not, because you cared enough to protect my innocence so I could stand whole and carefree, cloaked in a love that covered. You did all of that for me. Now that I'm a mother, I see clearer than before. I would do the same thing to protect my baby, and maybe even more. So that subject is now closed, and I've but one thing to say. Your baby loves and adores you, Mama. Happy Mother's Day.
Wow, that is so precious. And it's almost like you're reading my story, you know? Yeah, I mean, I can hear in there the relationship between the mother and the daughter. And tell me though, what inspired you to write this?
What inspired me to write the poem was my mother and I had a strained relationship prior to her passing, and there were so many unanswered questions. I had tried to talk with her, and some of the questions were never answered, and some of the actions and things that were said were hurtful, but I didn't understand. I really did not know. And it wasn't until my dad came to live with me. He stayed with me for 12 years. And he came to live with me. And later in his life, he was diagnosed with onset dementia or advanced dementia. And it was during one of the many conversations my dad would have with me in the evening times that I found the answers to a lot of the questions that I had asked and had not gotten an answer to. And it was because my dad actually thought he was talking to my mama. And he would say, "Did I tell you something? Did I tell you that, baby?" And she was like, "No, you didn't tell me." I would say, "No, you didn't tell me." He said, "Let me tell you." And so in doing so, for me, it gave me the pieces of the puzzles that were missing in the whole, in my whole understanding and my whole perception. I had a lot of misconceptions. And it was just like putting the puzzle together. I couldn't quite see the picture. I didn't understand. But when my dad, during his latter days, would say different things and tell me certain stories, thinking he was talking to my mama, I feel in my hearts of hearts, God being who he is, was like, "I'm not going to let you carry this for the rest of your life," not knowing, because he's a God that he's about resolution.
Yes,
We want to keep going and holding on to mess. But when you say, "God, I need your help in this," and you take your hands off of it, he said, let me show you something. And it was in him revealing to me through my father that I got the pieces of the puzzles and put them in place in different little areas that was missing. And I saw the full picture. And in seeing the full picture, all of a sudden, I understood. I understood why my mother, it didn't take away the fact that she did what she did. What it did, it gave me an understanding as to why. And in the scripture, it said, "In all you're getting, get an understanding." And it was after getting that understanding that I was able to say, "Oh my Lord, oh, I don't know if I could have handled the situation that well myself, if I was in her shoes. I don't know that I would have came out on top like she did." And so what it did for me, the situation, a lot of time we wait for somebody else to make a change or do something different or behave a certain way. She needs to say she's sorry and all that kind of stuff. And God was like, no. Sometimes the situation don't change. He changes how you see the situation.
Yes.
And when he showed you, he puts a change in you how you see it, then all of a sudden everything, the whole concept, the whole precept changes before your eyes. And I walked away, and I'm so thankful. I walked away with this love, for my mom, this admiration for my mother that I had lost. And I was like, oh wow, if that had been me, oh wow. And then all of a sudden I saw how she was actually protecting me by not telling me. And because of that, I have received a gift. I thought that was to my mom, but it was a gift to me. And I actually went to my mother's grave and read that poem to her because it was important for me to do that, because that was a conversation we never had. And I needed her to know it was all right. Everything was okay. And that I loved her as my mother. I loved her. And when I thought about it, I said, I could not have had a better mom, because I'm the way I am who I am because of what she taught me and who she was. And so I think I mentioned it to you earlier. My mother gave me the best of herself, the best that she had. Everything else she kept the leftovers, but she gave me the best. And because of what she gave me, I do what I do. I'm the mother that I am. I'm the homemaker that I was. And and I carry myself in a certain way because of what she taught me. And so I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for that, getting that understanding.
Right. And
Hmm.
remember the other day as I was chatting with you, I said, even though our mothers are gone,
Uh-huh.
they are gone to the other side. When you look in the mirror, don't you see her?
All the time. And the older I get, the more I see her.
Exactly.
And that's the shocking part because for years and years, I kind of, I don't look like them anyway. I pride myself. I thought I looked like my dad's side of the family, and I
Right.
messed around there and saw a picture that my aunt had of my mom. I'd never seen it, ever seen it, and she had to been about 16, 17, sitting on the sofa, and I did a double take because I swear that was me sitting on that sofa. And so the older I get, the more I see. And then if I go around some of my mom's older friends that I hadn't seen in years, first thing they say, "Girl, you look just like your mama." And
Wow.
so, there's no way around it. It's
Mhm.
just,
Yeah,
it
no,
is what it is.
it is. Yeah,
Mhm.
so you better love that mother because that face, you're gonna see her face every single day.
It's a friendly reminder.
Amen. Well, I am so thankful that you shared that poem, and I think I would like to end this segment by having you read it one more time, just as we get ready to close, because and that way, people can just really hear those words one more time. And
Yes.
that for those of you out there who your mother is no longer here, your mother has passed on, you know, it's not too late to
No.
apologize, and it's not
No.
too late to show your mother some love.
Yes.
So with
Yes.
that, I'm going to have Annette read for us one more time.
Quiet resolve. Mama, the last time we were together, life kept getting in the way. The past kept butting in, I guess you can say. Who's right and who wasn't is an even draw. But none of that is important after what I saw. The hurt could be seen all over your face. It was impossible to disguise. I saw it peeking out from behind the lens of your brown eyes. And so I walked away in a huff, embarrassed but standing strong. Yet the voice inside my head kept saying, "Now you know you were wrong." What happened back then is history, and I may never have a clue about the full toll that this mystery actually had on you. And to think, I felt betrayed because you hadn't shared, not realizing you did not, because you cared enough to protect my innocence so I could stand whole and carefree, cloaked in a love that covered. You did all of that for me. Now that I'm a mother, I see clearer than before. I would do the same thing to protect my baby, and maybe even more. So that subject is now closed, and I've but one thing to say. Your baby loves and adore you, Mama. Happy Mother's Day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a participant in this Mother's Day tribute, Annette.
Thank
And I
you.
hope to see you again.
Yes.
You said yes.
Yes.
Everyone heard that. She said yes. Okay. All right. God bless you, and you have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
And happy Mother's Day to you.
Happy Mother's Day to you as well.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.